All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Just finished a quick HELOC this morning. Had to pick up a new rental car, um, and that was an ordeal. And it was because of PayPal. PayPal made things difficult. I'm serious. They put me in a bind and everything. So y'all know I rent cars. So I rent cars for the business, and I know right off the bat, people are like, well, if you would have just bought a car, nonetheless, and it has nothing to do with the renting of the car. The issue is with the credit card company, and I'm explaining to you why. So I rent cars, I rent them for a month at a time, and then I extend it. So the way Hertz works, rent for 1 month, and then you extend it for a second month, and then at the end of the second month, you have to get a new contract. And then you can either keep that car, if it doesn't need an oil change or whatever, or you can get a different car. But basically every 2 months you got to get, or every 60 days you have to get write up a new contract. So I was coming up at the end of, where I had to write a new contract, had a new contract, new car to be picked up on the 26th of May. So had already done that ahead of time. So the week prior, which was the week of the 15th of May, I said, okay, I got this money coming in. I got to make payments, on the card and everything. So there's enough space on there and everything for paying the old amount of the car, which is going to be about $1,600, and paying the new car, which is going to be just under $1,000. About $1,000. So I caught a good little deal and everything. So I was like, okay, $1,000 for the next month, no problem. So I make a payment on my PayPal business credit card of $300 on the 22nd. Looked on the 23rd, bam, $300 increase of available credit, no problem. Made another payment the next day of $1,000 on the 23rd. On the morning of the 24th, boom, $1,000 increase in the available credit. So I was like, all right, cool. And I'm getting money in sort of sporadically, because as a notary, y'all know we don't always get our money at one time, at the same time, from everybody. So as money's coming in, I put down on the 24th, I paid $1,500. So now I paid $2,800 to my PayPal credit card, business credit card. Let me make sure I say that, PayPal business card. And let me say this, up until now, I've never had a problem with PayPal. Never had a problem. The card works fine. It's accepted. Great cash back. I'm talking about phenomenal cash back. Probably done got over $100 and some dollars, and for cash back and everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. Wake up the morning of the 25th. Available credit wasn't there, but it showed that I made the payment. It got it listed that the payment was made. Why don't I see an increase in available credit of $1,500? It's not there. I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? So I called PayPal first thing that morning. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they're after hours, people picked up and they're like, well, from what we see is that, yeah, you made the payment, but they're not going to make that payment available, or that available credit available, until June 2nd. I was like, what? What do you mean June 2nd? Yeah, June. I'm like, wait a minute, that's after Memorial. I'm like, no, I need the available credit today. I said, okay, well, can y'all do just a limit increase? Give me a limit increase. Well, we're not doing increases at the time. PayPal has put a squash on on limit increases. So you can't get a limit increase, and you can't give me the available credit that I'm supposed to have because I made this payment. I'm like, look, I need to talk to somebody. Well, I'm the after hours person, can't really go further except for what I see in the system. No problem. I called back at 9 o'clock, talked to an actual PayPal person there, and they're like, yeah, they said the problem is that you made too many payments. I was like, what do you mean I made too many payments? Yeah, you made too many payments, and because you made too many payments, the system flagged your account and or something to that effect. My words might not be exact because I was heated, so I wasn't probably listening too clear. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm like, what do you mean the system flagged my account? Why you gotta flag my account if I'm making payments? You know, this is what I'm thinking in my head and what I'm probably saying and everything. And they was like, yeah, so you made too many payments in too short of a period of time, and therefore they held on that last payment you made. They put a hold on it and not going to make it available to you until June 2nd. I'm like, well, that don't do me no good because I need it now for the car rental thing tomorrow, the 26th. They're like, it's going to be available June 2nd. I said, that doesn't make a bit of sense. I'm like, I'm not tracking here. So you're telling me I'm being penalized for making too many payments? I didn't overpay. It's not like I owe $3,000 and I paid $4,000 and y'all like, oh, we can't take the extra $1,000. It's like I'm paying what I owe. I have a balance, so I'm paying it down, paying y'all what I owe y'all. And they're like, well, yeah, well, we have in our contract that sometimes, you know, if you make a payment, it may not be readily available. Okay, I get that, but why a week? That's just the way the system's set up. I'm like, I need to talk to somebody. They're like, well, there's nobody to talk to because we can't override it. So y'all can't tell the system that, oh, hey, Griffith's good people, going to make his money available. There was nothing nefarious going on here. They're like, no, we can't. It's like, it is what it is. So I'm sitting here like, okay, I got to take this car back. I got to get a new car. And PayPal is playing these games talking about our system is this, that, and I'm like, okay, I'm a computer guy. I mean, if it was programmed to do that, it can be programmed not to do it. There is an override. Y'all just, I know I'm not talking to the right person who can override it. And I know y'all probably been told no one can, but somebody can override it. So I'm sitting here like, what in the world? Now, what's going through my mind is I'm about to get arrested. And the reason why is because Hertz has been in the news over the last 2 years about having people arrested. You know, they somehow got it wrong or whatever that, oh, you rent a car and then they're like, yeah, the car is stolen. And I was concerned that that might happen to me. I've been renting with Hertz probably 2 years now for since about halfway through the pandemic. So I've been at least 18 months or so and haven't had any problems with Hertz. Haven't had any problem with any rental car company. You know, maybe one with Enterprise. It was a debit card thing that we didn't know about, and I had to do a video about that. But for the most part, I haven't had any problems with Hertz. I mean, I get there and the people are great. I mean, the locations, the cars are clean, semi depending on which location, but the cars are pretty clean. Always filled with gas. No problem. Great staff, all of that. Always have a vehicle available, everything. If for some reason they don't, they'll say, hey, go to the airport and switch out there. Like one time I had this one problem, I forgot what the problem was, but it was something going on with the car, I think the battery or whatever. They said, just take it to the airport. Got a new car, no problem whatsoever. Man. So I'm thinking I'm about to get arrested, or I could, if I don't get this car turned in. So I called Hertz. Hertz was, man, they were so nice. They was like, yo, we understand. Okay, we got that. We'll just extend you out to next Friday or so. So I'm like, all right, cool. Next Friday, bet. The 2nd, because that's what PayPal told me. So I was like, okay, let me ask them, can I make another payment? I said, because I was like, okay, I don't know if this is going to happen, what have you. So I was like, I said, if I make another payment, what will happen? I just wanted to know. They was like, well, if you make another payment, it might put it on hold too for a week or so. And I was like, God gracious. And I had to ask them, I'm like, okay, what is the deal with this here? And basically they told me I made too many payments in too short a time, like I said earlier, meaning I guess the system is really designed to look for you to make a payment once a month. And if you make more than one payment, it starts looking at you sort of side eye. and apparently I needed to have more time in between payments, like 10 days. Like I make a payment and then 10 days later make another payment and all of that. But I made too many payments in a short amount of time, which I don't know how that is equated to anything illegal, if that's what they're alluding to, allegedly. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, this is jacked up. So I literally had to wait. So then when I called the person, they said, yeah, the money will be available on the 3rd. Now, this is the 3rd time I called PayPal. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean the 3rd? Y'all told me the 2nd. Yes, it's going to get released on the 2nd, but it won't be made available till the 3rd, today. I'm like, I done told these people I'm coming back on it. So I talked to it Hertz, and they was like, we got it, we understand, just come, So I came back today, and sure enough, when I woke up first thing this morning, there it is, the other $1,500 added to my PayPal account. And I'm like, okay, so actually, technically, I can make another payment now on that account, and it will reflect within 24 to 48 hours. But if I make too many payments, back-to-back payments, 3 days in a row, or maybe too many payments over a 5-day period or whatever, it's going to get flagged and they're going to lock my stuff down again. Now, can I use the card? Yeah, I could use whatever available credit, but I could not have access to what I was owed, what I was due for whatever reason. So now you probably say, and then I had to rent the car that I have now, which is a Kia, which I don't really like because it drives like a truck, and it just sounds, I mean, everything in it sounds like a daggone pickup truck. So I use my another card to make sure that I could rent from my Kia, because I was like, I don't know if anything's gonna be held up. I had enough to cover both cars on that car, but I was like, I don't want to take a chance. So I used a different card for the car that I have now. At this point, you're probably saying, oh, Griff, all you had to do was just give Hertz a different credit card or a debit card. This is the fallacy on Hertz side. Hertz is like, it has to be on the same card that you was already using. So I use the card ending in say 0001. I can't bring them a different card. Even though that card might be on my account, it has to be on the same card that they did the authorized hold against and everything in the beginning. So I had to get that money made available on that particular credit card in order for it to work. And then if you use a debit card, well, with the debit card, they do a $500 hold and they do a credit check on you. I don't want them hitting my credit up like that. So that's where the using a credit card works. And I used to work with Enterprise, and I know all the ins and outs about how people were scamming with debit cards and prepaid cards and all that. So that's why they're pushing people more toward credit card, and they're making it hard for you to use a debit card, period, when it comes to renting a car. So I couldn't switch cards midstream, and I already knew that. That's why I didn't ask them, because there was something that came up. Matter of fact, when I first got my PayPal credit card, I was using a different card, and then I was like, well, PayPal got better cash back, so I want this card that I'm renting now, the bill for that, to be on my PayPal. And they was like, nope, can't do it. Got to be on the card that you originally started with. And it says it in the reservation, said, well, it says like make sure you bring the card that you used to reserve it. But it wasn't, to me, I didn't take it as you can't switch cars, because I've been at other rental car companies and they would allow you to switch cards, and I've seen people, I haven't done it, but I've seen other people like, well, I'm gonna use this card. Okay, cool, no problem. And they run it for, and everything. Well, maybe I did it with Enterprise once, and that might have been when I did get a credit card. Yeah, it was, and they didn't have no problem. But Hertz, you can't do that. So for those of you who say, "Oh man, all you had to do is just pull out your other card," that wasn't gonna happen. They wasn't gonna accept it. It got to be with the card that you started with. So that made things difficult. So got it taken care of today in a different car, and actually cheaper. This car's Instead of it being $1,000 that I was paying, it was $721 for the month. So I'm gonna keep this car for 2 months. Try to keep this car, that 721 as long as I can. So at least for the next 2 months, this month and the next month, or the next 60 days, I'm going to have this vehicle at 721, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take it. I'll take it. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. You talk about business credit and stuff, and see, here's the thing. Even if you read all of the terms and conditions and stuff, it might not have said it explicitly, like, if you make 3 payments in 3 days, we're going to lock your stuff down. Yes, and I remember saying, yeah, the money you make a payment, the money might not be readily available. In my mind, I'm thinking because of a holiday or something like that, or they just want to make sure it clears through the bank. My stuff cleared. It shows $1,500 clear. PayPal took it and dropped the amount, the outstanding balance down by $1,500. So I'm sitting here like, okay, if the outstanding balance dropped, then where's the problem? The issue is you don't know these things until you do these things. You can do things, and then that's when it becomes like, oh, well, here's a problem. I didn't know that could ever have been a problem. So now my thought is, okay, with my other credit cards is that. So I'm going to have to take time out. I haven't done it yet. Sorry about that. And call the other companies and be like, yo, is there any restriction that if I make 3 payments in 3 days, y'all put a freeze on my account, or hold off making that money available, as making that payment as available credit to me? I need to know this. Not that I plan on doing that as a constant thing, but when you're a business owner and you get money in and you paying bills, sometimes you might get fortunate and like, okay, I do a deal and then somebody pays me extra, and then it's like, okay, well, I got an extra $500. Well, I'm gonna put that on this card. I'm just going to pay this card down. And then you sitting up here getting your stuff locked down and can't use it. And even if you're not trying to use it, it's just the fact that it's getting locked down, and you don't even know why. You just look in there and you see balance owed is $1,500 less than what it was. Balance available doesn't reflect the $1,500. That's a problem. So no, I'm not getting rid of PayPal business card. I'm gonna keep it because it has great cash back. It's accepted, it's used, but the whole concept burns me. That's the problem. That burns the heck out of me. I don't like that, and I'm just sharing this with y'all so y'all will be aware of it out there when you're doing business credit. And here's the thing: those business credit people that you're working with, they may not know this. They probably don't, because they're not looking into it. They're just saying, hey, I'm gonna help you get business credit, and they get you business credit, but you got to find out from the company how they operate if you start making multiple payments. So you that's your responsibility, but you don't know that unless somebody tells you. I'm telling you. So now you can look into that for yourself, and all it takes is a phone call, or you can read through your your terms and service. But even with that, it's probably not going to say explicitly, if you make X amount of payments over a short amount of time, we're not going to make that money available to you for 7 days. That's the part that just burnt me. I was like, I can't believe y'all doing this to me. But I made it through, and I had to first get through this, before I could tell y'all about this, because it was just weighing. I ain't gonna lie, it was weighing on me. I was like, whew. And fortunately, and again, I got to give Hertz credit. They work with me. I'm a President's Circle person because I rent so much from them, and I'm truly appreciative of their understanding and their willingness to work with me, and them believing me, thinking that I was just making up stuff and all of that. So I'm good. Been made whole. Got this little Kia K5 that drives and acts like a truck, sounds like a truck, everything, but I just needed to get me from point A to point B. So go drop these docs off, go home, take me a nap because I'm tired, and starting to do these Saturday nap things now. I don't know why. I guess must be getting older. I don't know. It's catching up to me. But hey, look, y'all have a good one. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.